Wait a minute. For those of you keeping score, which is generally Randy Rhodes, I did get it right, but it was in a different position this morning. Ray Fagans joins us. I got that right. And Randy Rhodes, our illustrious co-host, joins us. And I'm the guy that you see on the other corner of your screen. And we're all live. I woke up this morning, and it's not going to be a long rant, but people are still. Well, I didn't think it was going to be long. My wife Donna laughed too. I didn't think it was going to be long because what I wanted to say is if you are congratulating the Kirk family, if you're congratulating other turning pointists and other people that this happened, you're forgetting that in America, we really don't do that. Okay? We really don't do that. Keep it to yourself. Post it, I guess, if you want, but realistically, you're going to face losing friends. You're going to face possibly getting booted from other social media networks. I don't know. I really don't care. But it's beyond that. Because Erica Kirk has made it clear that she's going to continue with Turning Point. The rest of the people that were on the Charlie Kirk show went live, I believe, and did not seat someone in Charlie Kirk's chair. And they paid respect to Charlie Kirk. I thought about it for a moment, and it's a hypothetical because I wouldn't get it. But if Erica were to call me and say, I want you to be in Charlie Kirk's chair.
What's the matter, Randy?
I would say, I can't do it because I'm not ready to do it.
Get out my shit boots. It's getting deep in here.
Someone else might be able to sit down and do it, but they're not Charlie Kirk. I'm not Charlie Kirk. I can talk about things that Charlie Kirk wanted to do, but I'm not Charlie Kirk. But anyway, let's go to Randy and give him his 30 seconds or a minute, and then we'll give Ray his 2 hours with the actual and factual. Anybody else? What? I didn't hear you, Ray.
I get 30 seconds, and he gets 2 hours. Gee.
Because he's going to give the actual and factual.
So, give me a...
Plus, he's in a beautiful robe this morning, which means that he's at home and he's relaxed. And he's got it all ready to go.
Aside for a smoking jacket.
He does. No, okay. He does. I'm in a polo shirt.
Okay.
And,
so, okay, give me at least 3 to 5 minutes, okay? I'm going to do some video.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to start off with this. In case you don't know what this is, where's the camera at? Oh, there it is. Can you read that? That's backwards.
It's backwards. Okay. But yeah, I see it.
Let me see if I can change this. Hang on a second. Can I?
Where you have to read it. Did Ray freeze? I can't tell if Ray froze. Ray froze. He will be back.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
He will be back. There it is.
I just had to make a change. I'll wait for him to come back. But anyways, I totally disagree with how the right is handling this. Maybe I'll just keep going here. We only have an hour.
Go ahead.
So, folks, this is a mini copy of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution.
Every American should have one.
It doesn't take up a lot of space in the drawer, okay?
Carry it in your pocket if you can, or know where it is, and look at it as frequently as you need to.
The very, very first amendment that our founding fathers added was this: Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Now, freedom of speech, okay?
Mhm.
I hate to say, folks, that, and this is going to sound terrible, but we all have the right to speak your mind. That's why we are here. Dave, myself,
Yeah.
hopefully, William when he
Hopefully
gets
Ray will
back,
make
and
it
whoever
back.
else.
Yep. Yep. Anybody else
But
that
we,
wants to
but we,
join is welcome. Go ahead.
but we have the right to speak our mind without the fear of repercussion. Now there are maybe a couple exceptions, like you don't shout fire in a crowded area. Okay, that's a no, and that's a given. But these folks are getting fired for comments they made about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Okay,
Right.
now I can see if they're making comments about the president or someone like that of a very high office, especially the president, okay, are talking about the assassination of the president's family and so forth. I can see losing your job and going to prison over that. Now, Charlie Kirk, albeit he was a very influential person, he was a very intelligent person, he was a very loving person, a Christian, a father, a husband, and so forth. But I don't think he rises to the occasion of being a president or someone of high authority that the rules don't apply to him. What I'm saying is the people who are getting fired left and right for comments they made about Charlie Kirk pre and post assassination are losing their jobs. People in the military are being either removed from their position of authority or being kicked out altogether. Okay. Something about the UCMJ code of ethics kind of thing, right? But it still boils down back to the
Mhm.
freedom of speech. So I can see a whole bunch of attorneys getting together and doing a class action suit against employers and big employers. Okay, not just like a McDonald's or a KFC or something like that. There are big employers, many, thousands of employees who are firing their employees for making bad comments about Charlie Kirk. And with that, I'm going to play just a few of these to give you an
Okay.
idea of what I am talking about. And
Okay.
hopefully, Ray comes back in time to see some of
Hopefully he
this.
does. Hopefully he does. Oh, wait a minute. I got to add Randy to the screen. I got this. And then I got to come down.
Job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my job.
Say that again?
I was just fired from my job. Now I have nothing but this. I have nothing but this website. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. Ah! 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 Ah!
As you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
So you think celebrating a man's death is funny? Well, guess what? People are losing their jobs left and right for doing exactly that. And today, I'm showing you the receipts.
To the person that sent that video to corporate and got me fired, thank you. And I know that everybody is going to see this video too, and that's okay. I'm not going to say anything wrong. Did I realize that what I was saying in that video was going to lead to this? No, I would have never fucking done that. But it seems like with my life, no matter how hard I fucking try, I end up fucking shut up. But I know that everything happens for a fucking reason. And I may not know right now what that reason is, but eventually God will reveal that to me. I love helping addicts. I love helping people. This job stressed me the fuck out some days, but I didn't care because it was worth it because I was helping people. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. My daughter is about to go to college, and I don't know now how I'm going to pay for that, but I know that I'll figure it out. And if you want to send this video to corporate too, that's fine. But to anybody that creates content If you work at a treatment facility, if you work in healthcare, watch what you say very carefully, because it doesn't matter if you don't speak somebody's name. Just describing a situation is enough to get you fired. I did not know that, but now I sure do now. I don't know what I'm meant to do in this life. I don't know where I'm.
Yes, I do.
So, we came in for an order earlier for a poster for a vigil tonight.
Yeah, so
for somebody that passed.
Propaganda.
It's not
It's propaganda. I'm sorry. We don't put that here.
Alrighty. So, what's your name?
Carol. I'm print supervisor. I'm one of the managers.
Yes.
So, unfortunately,
So they say they don't print
we don't
political
print
propaganda. So this is somebody that passed away a couple years
That's
ago.
political propaganda, unfortunately. I'm
So
sorry.
this is for a prayer tonight, for a prayer vigil?
It's still propaganda, unfortunately.
What makes it propaganda?
Because he's a political figure, and I don't have to. Yeah.
Our general manager is going to be in on Monday. If you want to speak further on the subject,
If you would like to,
you're welcome to.
Video about Charlie Kirk ended up on Turning Point UK's Twitter account, so I need to address this because it's all getting a little out of hand. Let me firstly state that I am no longer at the Petticoat Emporium. My stall has been removed. In the neck at his own debate rally. I try to avoid American politics if possible, but I've opened X to a bunch of little bitches crying and whinging about how political violence is never the answer. These people are gunning for politics that is inherently violent to its people. These people are gunning for politics that are inherently violent to a population, to marginalised people, to people who need access to healthcare. This is the same across the West. This isn't just the US. This is England too. I'm sick of this idea.
So we got
Go ahead.
reaction across the world that Charlie Kirk, again, and people probably want to hate him for this, but yes, he was a very influential man. He was a Christian, but for people to lose their jobs for making comments, which traditionally is freedom of speech, what should happen? This is me. If I was an employer, okay, and someone came to me, said, "Mr. Rhodes, I think that there's a video out of one of our employees. I think you ought to take a look at it and get your opinion on it." Okay, so I watched it. Oh my God, she's saying bad things about Charlie Kirk. She's calling for the death of his family. Okay, I would fire the person. Okay, because they're calling out action to go against the family. Okay. After saying bad things about Charlie Kirk, the person, I would bring the person in, sit them down, and say, "Hey, do you realize what you said in this video? Do you understand the repercussions of this video?" And if the answers were affirmative, yes, I understand what I'm doing. I understand what. Then I would, maybe I would do like a week suspension to give them time to think about what they were saying or doing. But to out and out fire the person for freedom of speech, that's you watch. There will be attorneys making a shitload of money.
There will be, and they should be, because it doesn't matter if you're a leftist and you congratulated Charlie, you congratulated the Kirk family, or you just said it was a great thing. The question that I have is that if you are not on the clock 24/7, some employers clock 24/7 without a morals clause, and you have time that is yours, you can do whatever you want with that time. You just can't do it on the employer's time.
Point made. Yes, I agree with that. That's just, so if you're at work, at your work terminal, or if you're at home on your work terminal, yeah, you can't say political things. And of course, if you have a morals clause, you can't say certain things. I agree with that.
Right. But I don't mean you work 18 hours a day and you're off 6 hours a day, and your morals clause doesn't cover you when you're not employed. So you have a right to do whatever you want. So if they came to you and said, we don't like what you did, we're going to terminate you, my response would be, okay, you're going to see my lawyer, and I'm either going to get a lot of money or I'm going to get my job back. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want my job back, because it means that I can't be me on my own time. Because I've told people, well, if you worked for a leftist company and they fired you and you were a leftist, obviously you're going to get hired by another leftist company and probably get a better job and more pay. If you're a righty, you're probably going to get hired by your righty company and get a raise. But I don't know any righty company that's congratulating everybody. But my point is that there comes time in the 24-hour period where you are not on your employer's clock and you are able to be you and say you. It's like Colin Kaepernick. I had no problem with Colin wanting to take a knee and protest everything. But if I owned the team that he played football on, he wasn't going to do it in my team's uniform, and he wasn't going to do it at a my team game, because he doesn't get paid to do that. I don't want him to do that. He gets paid to play football. So that's the fine line to me. And I know that there are righties, Republicans, whatever you want to call them, that are upset at me because I've said, hey, if you're a leftist and you got fired and you were on your own time, hey, you deserve to get it back if you want it back. But obviously you don't want it back.
I agree.
I can say whatever I want. 24 hours a day, I'm Boogie with the bull, in theory. So, obviously I can say whatever I want. My boss isn't going to fire me. Might not let me use her Chromebook, which I desperately need to be able to do the broadcast. But,
Yeah, so make sure you keep your boss very happy.
I need to keep her very happy so that
a
I'm
dozen
allowed
roses
to use
and
her
a box of
Chromebook
candy a week.
in the broadcast. No, it's a little bit more than a box of candy a week.
Well,
it's
she's
being
about
a
candy.
good boy. She's
Really?
not really a candy person. She's a yarn person. I mean, I could take her to Michael's and say, hey, here's $20 for me saying something stupid, that you wouldn't, well, stupid in your sense, because you wouldn't agree with what I said, but, here's $20 to take you to Michael's and you do whatever you want. And that would work. I mean, candy wise, we buy maybe a box of Swiss rolls every once in a while. And she might say, well, you don't get any. She might say you don't get any. But I was a good boy, and we seem to have lost my pillowcase. And I had said something, and she gave me
so
one of
you
hers.
said Swiss rolls like in the pastry, the tasty cake pastry?
Yeah, Swiss rolls, like the chocolate
that's
rolled
not
up
candy.
stuff
That's not
with
candy.
whipped cream. Well,
that's
okay.
Sweet. It's sugary.
If you want to be if people want to be testicle, yesterday he bought me a package of pumpkins, Halloween pumpkins, because I liked them. And if I was a bad boy, she wouldn't have done that. And it was 100% her income when she did that. It wasn't any of ours. It wasn't any of ours or any of mine. It was 100% of hers. So, quote unquote, as an employee of her company, I couldn't say what I did, what I said. But,
Okay.
You have a right to say what you want and mean what you want, and not have your employer come to you and say, hey, we don't like what you said, you're out of here. And I think these people, a lot of them are being over dramatic. Like this girl who said, we live in a political violent state. And because we live in a political violent state, you have to have a right to be politically violent. No, you don't. You have a right to be political and say something is wrong, but no, you really don't have a right to be politically violent.
You know, there's going to be a lot of rallies. Already, I heard that there's been applications for 35,000 new turning point locations across the United States.
Yep.
Now, obviously, they have to get the permission of the colleges and so forth to be able to open one up. I think at this point, a college or university is going to be a hard put to deny that new new thing.
Well, looking at my experience, going back to when I was the prime minister of a small country, the executive vice president. Well, the executive vice president had all the authority. The president was just a figurehead. So if an organization came to me and said, I want to be, or we want to be an organization on campus, I'd say, well, tell me about your organization. If they weren't doing anything wrong, they weren't doing anything illegal, they became an organization on campus. Now, the student government advisor would come to me sometimes and say, well, why is that group approved? Because they're a group of students on the college campus, and they have a right to be who they are and assemble as who they are. If you don't like it, then you don't go to it. You don't endorse it. And if I didn't do it, my good friend at the student newspaper would have it on the front page that Dave Golden, the executive vice president, said no. And there really wasn't a reason to say no. But go ahead.
No, I was watching, and I was before we went live. I was trying to find the damn episode, and I couldn't find it. But it was the View with Whoopi Goldberg and so forth. But they had on this one guest. What the hell was his name? I forget what his name was, but very intelligent person. I can see him taking Kirk's place. Very intelligent, very. Damn, the name just went out of my head. But anyways, he was talking about, they're talking about Kirk and the death, and of course now how they felt.
Yep.
And he said to them, he said, "Whoa, wait." He said, "Now that the man is dead," and I'm paraphrasing here, but now that the man is dead, you are singing his laurels. You are saying all the nice things about Charlie Kirk, my friend. But up until then, you were always against him, always finding something wrong with him. You always, bad mouthing them and so forth, right? But now that he's dead, and the audience doesn't agree with your position, you want to talk nice things about him. I've got one thing to say to each one of you, and I'm going to use the word he used. If I find his name, I'll let you know. He said Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay.
He said F you. And he went to the next one, F you. And of course, he used the word F you and F you. And you in the corner, F you as well. And then they brought the commercial. But he's right. These different, left-wing liberal broadcasts want to badmouth someone like a Charlie Kirk. But then when something terrible happens, it's, oh, my God, did we have something to do with it? Well, yeah, you did, because right now they're calling him the suspect. They can't say he's the guy who did it until he's been found guilty. But the suspect is not cooperating with the police department or the FBI. Now, the family members are, and the boyfriend, girlfriend is cooperating with the FBI and the police department, answering all the questions. So tomorrow, I guess it's going to be a live broadcast about the court hearing, and he's going to appear in court tomorrow. Okay. But but all these left-wing liberal formatted broadcasts have legal responsibility to the content that they broadcast, and they have responsibility to the verbiage that comes out of the hosts and guests' mouths, because what you say, what you show, is going to influence someone especially in a mindset
Well,
such as his was, to have him go out and do some type of reaction to their comments. And what
right, but then you have Matthew. I think his first name was Matthew Dowd, over at one of the cable news networks, not CNN, but one of them. But MSNBC, I believe, or actually may have been at NBC proper, who said something and lost his job. And probably, if you ask him, he understands why he lost his job. It isn't about the fact that he didn't like Charlie Kirk, that he didn't like Turning Point. It's the fact that he was in a situation where he was on the clock, he was doing a job, and he wasn't in the position to speak as Matthew Dowd American, or Whoopi Goldberg American, or the other lady, Joy Behar. To me, the view is only Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg because they're old and they have experience. The other ladies are young and they're just looking for experience that Whoopi and Joy have. But again, if you can't be on the clock, evidently, when you do it, and making your own videos, I would assume you weren't on the clock when you did it, and that's okay. That's your view. And if you post it on social media and they want your view on there, they will make sure that it is on there. I did want to say that we're live on my profile on Facebook. We're live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, and we are live on streetlock.com. Why? Just because I said I would post it live over there instead of a podcast. You will be redirected to the YouTube channel if you are on Streetlock to give you YouTube live chat capability. So you have to say yes. If you say no to the question, do you want to be redirected to YouTube, then obviously you don't. Anyone on Streetlock is welcome to join us and speak your views and maybe even become a part of the program. Randy spoke his views a long time ago and became part of the program simply by acknowledge what I say. Then why am I here saying it? So that's the point. We have a lot of fun on Morning Caffeine. We kick it at everybody else, and we kick it at ourselves, and that's what we do. We're on 10 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Fridays, we salute the military and ICE and state law enforcement and everybody that's involved in all of that right now because it's important. And Tuesday, Thursday, we're on at 7 p.m., and again, it's the same kind of format. So join us. It's usually more busier at the 7 p.m. slot because it's easier for people to watch. But Randy, go ahead.
Okay, I just found the
Okay.
episode.
Good. Oh, wait a minute. I got it.
You're going to enjoy this.
Every time you do that, I have to add the. I wish Reese would make it automatic.
Isn't a fundamental part of being an American that we are able to express our opinions to each other without fear, without this kind of horror happening? And it seems to be something we have been seeing more and more of. And it's not even left or right. It's just people being taken out because of their beliefs.
There's just no place for this kind of violence in this country. I am heartbroken over it. I cannot believe that someone would kill another person because they were speaking their beliefs.
Well, for years, you and your allies in the media have been conditioning half of the country against the president, his supporters, and figures like Charlie Kirk. Trump is Hitler, his supporters are fascists, right-wing extremists is danger to our democracy, they're Nazis, you know the words. Yet you seriously sit here acting surprised when lunatics who believe your words decide to take matters into their own hands. Your side burn and loot every time things don't go your way. Your side tried to assassinate the president multiple times. Your side burned Teslas all around the country and wanted Elon dead. Your side assassinated Charlie Kirk. Your side is currently celebrating it. So don't talk to me about, well, this is not a left and right issue. It is the left. It's only the left. It's ironically the Democratic side who engages in political violence and killings of figures they disagree with. And every time something like this happens, you come here, you tune down the rhetoric, crocodile tears, ooh, I can't believe this. Then a week later, you go right back at the dictator and fascist rhetoric again. So you don't really care. You're just pretending. And for that, fuck you, and you in a corner too.
Okay, and on that note, we're going to kick him off the screen because I don't want to hear people say the F word. And I think he's a very important part of the View because he represents our view. But it's like I said, you have the right to say anything you want wherever you want, with the exception of being at work and not being able to do it while you're at work. And they have for a long time, I'm going to adjust my headphones slightly, they have for a long time said what they felt about us wherever they could. Ray's back with us, so let me kick this in. Ray back with us. They have set us up by saying whatever they say. It is not about violence. I think that's what Ray will say when he's here. It's not about violence. It's about saying what is on your mind. I personally think Charlie Kirk gave people the opportunity that didn't agree with him to say what they didn't agree with. But the bulk of the videos I have watched are people wanting to take their 5 minutes to ream him a new one, just like they were in the Senate or the House and talking to someone on the other side of the aisle. Go ahead, Ray.
Morning, gentlemen. I had a connection problem, so I figured I'd take a shower.
Okay.
While I was at, because I'm using my phone. But I've been listening. I've been listening to some people with some very interesting perspectives on, things that are happening now and what's going on, and I started thinking about it, and it's somewhat right. They are not getting the reaction, meaning the left. They are not getting the reaction that they thought that they were going to get the day that they assassinated Charlie Kirk. We didn't go down burning things down. We didn't go running around looking to retaliate, anything to give them justification to act in any way. And being that meltdown didn't take place, now you just see them, just going around these visuals, creating incidences, and just trying to create more havoc because what they initially thought was going to work really didn't.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it needed to.
No.
I think if they honestly said, we just want to say this, and then we'll leave, I think our side would have just stopped and let them say what they wanted to say and then leave. Although I would have invited them to stay. Because there's that breaking bread moment that I talk about all the time.
Not at a visual. Yeah, no. I mean, there's a time and a place for everything.
No, you're right. You're right there.
Definitely isn't the place. That's intruding on something that totally has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Thinking about that, I probably would have said, hey, next Wednesday at 10 o'clock is a great time for us to talk about this and come and talk about it and thrown the program open to us all that showed up. Randy, what do you got to say?
I'm in a phase here as far as I must have missed everything that William said. Can you say it again? I mean, I heard you, but it didn't register in my head.
Man, I said too much. I don't even remember what I said.
Okay.
He basically said that it's not right to go to a Charlie Kirk vigil and talk about the, for lack of putting it better, these are not Ray's words, they're my words, the BS on the other side. Because if that lady showed up at my vigil, I hope that someone would have said, it's not relevant. Like Ray said, it's not relevant to what we are doing right now. Come, like I said, next Wednesday, and who's ever doing Boogie with the Bull will give you all the time you need.
No, wait, no, hang on a second. So you're saying if we had a rally today in Lancaster County for Charlie Kirk, okay, to remember him, and if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying that if someone shows up with a opposite opinion of why we're there, that person shouldn't be there. Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So would that be something that Charlie Kirk would agree with? Because the whole thing about Charlie Kirk was to have people come to his meetings on the college campuses with people who side with him, as well as people who disagree with him. So it gave him the opportunity to address the opposite people to try and convince them that their way of thinking is wrong. So it wouldn't make sense that if this person came to my rally today in Lancaster, now hold on, and he didn't agree with Charlie Kirk's way of life or thinking or his testimony, wouldn't that be a great opportunity for me, maybe one other person, to take that person's side, hear the person out, and then say, no, this is why we disagree with you, and then have a conversation to see if we can convince that person that what they're thinking is not correct and bring them on board with Charlie Kirk.
There's a time and a place for everything. These people are here mourning.
Right.
If your kid is in an accident and then winds up in the hospital, when the police come in there and ask, you ain't trying to ask no questions. You trying to take care of the situation at hand at the moment. We can take care of the questions and all that shit. They already had an opportunity to do all that shit.
Right.
Now, in one sense, you are right. It depends on how they come.
Right.
Now, if you never agree with Charlie Kirk and you hated Charlie Kirk and all of a sudden you came and you felt bad and remorseful and stuff, yeah, that's a cool thing. But the time for debate is not the time to explain what he was about is not the time. No, this is a memorial.
Yeah.
This is a memorial. And like Dave said, we can explain next week.
Right.
If you want to, we can get down next week, but not right now. No.
I mean, I'd even put in my will, hey, next Wednesday, let someone sit in my chair. Donna probably won't let him use her Chromebook, but come sit in my chair. Look at a figurative speech way. Come sit in my chair and control the broadcast and be whoever you are. But no, to come and interrupt a solemn moment where there are people.
Well, like tonight at 7:00, I will be on the campus at East Tennessee State University, where thousands will be attending the Charlie Kirk vigil. There is a one of his what's the organization? His organization. They have a chapter right here at the university, about 10 minutes away, and it's going to be amazing. I will be live broadcasting at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. And to see Tennesseans come together for this vigil, they're expecting thousands at the university. So I will be live at 7:00, and it's going to be amazing.
Do you expect any problems with the at the rally?
Oh well, now I don't know. We different down here. We different. These country cornbread boys down here, you don't want to come intruding on they. I don't know, boy. These rednecks down here don't play, bro. They don't play. You don't mess around with their religion. You don't mess around with their functions like this, bro. Down where I am, There's gonna be all kind of pickup trucks with Confederate flags, rebel flags, American flags. You in the wrong place, bro. Yeah. I
To
don't,
be
I
there,
don't.
to interrupt, to take
Yeah, you
away
don't. Nah, you
from
nah.
why everybody is there, I think is 100% wrong. If you want an opportunity to speak your mind, then, like I said, schedule something somewhere where you can do that. Hold your
If
own
you want to
event.
speak your mind, you better have your ass way across the other side of the
that's
street,
true.
across away from the campus somewhere
That's
with a
true too.
bullhorn.
But have your event wherever you want to have it, is what I'm going to say, and speak however you want. But
I don't think they're gonna be no protests because these white boys down here ready to fight. These white boys down here ready to come to blows.
Right.
I just moved. I ain't been here 2 weeks, and I met my neighbor by him coming out the truck, and he just got finished crying on the ride in from work. I seen him get out the truck, and that was our connection, talking about Charlie Kirk. He was like, "How could they do that to a man of God?" See, they don't understand what they meant for evil. It's about to bite. Well, it already bit him in the butt.
Right. This girl, like I said, you had your technical issues, but this girl said in the video, basically made it sound like we kicked her to the edge of political violence and we're not giving her that chance. And if it was somebody else who passed away or got assassinated on the left side, and you all were gathered at that person's vigil or memorial or even the actual funeral, you wouldn't allow us to interfere and present that, no, he wasn't a problem. He was this, he was that, she was this, she was that. We just need a few days, and we need the respect of the few days that we would give you. We wouldn't trash talk you. We wouldn't trash talk that person. And we're just not getting that, and I don't see why.
This is the number one thing. Stop focusing on these crazy people. We don't need why even talk about these people? Why even, bro? These people are the farthest thing from my mind. These are demons walking among us. So I don't even give them an iota of my energy. I focus on the mission at hand, and that's making this country great again. Right now, we're in a little pause because of the death of our great brother Charlie Kirk. But after we have our mourning process, we're gonna go right back to grinding and making America great again. But I continue to tell you, don't focus on these idiots, man. They don't deserve the energy. That's what keeps them relevant. That's what keeps them alive. The energy. Just gotta tune them out. Tune them out.
Yeah, I don't want to focus, I keep saying, on the people that want to go to the negative and are insisting on making it negative. He had a mission. He put us all at a very big turning point, and unfortunately he's not here to help us and guide us all through it, which is what he wanted to do.
I can almost guarantee that this episode in our nation's history, if they haven't already, those who are like Charlie Kirk in a way of being outspoken have increased and double-checked their own particular security details to make sure it doesn't happen again. Maybe more in the sense of you'll see some bulletproof glass, on the sides and fronts of these speakers and so forth. Of course, they might be very restricted on how much money they have to spend on their own safety guards, but they have to now think about that. I guarantee that the protection detail around his wife and kids have increased. to protect them.
That may have, and that's important. But I've heard that that's not what Charlie wanted to do. Charlie wanted to be out there talking to people, and I think understood that, you meet the wrong word, you meet some wackos, or there's going to be a wacko in the crowd who's going to do it. But
and I take this from a speaking engagement aspect. We know what we sign up for. When we are, I mean, you look at the greats: Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, JFK Jr. JFK, and other greats that were taken from us. They didn't have security because, number one, when you're bold in your faith, when you're bold in what you truly believe in, you summon up a courage to where you in order to deliver your message of boldness and of freedom and of not being intimidated by the opposition and things of that, it's almost like you want to come out to let them know you're not scared, because you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it as a representation to others.
Right.
You come out with a bunch of security, the first thing you're doing is bringing forth fear.
Right.
So you want to come out bold.
Right. I mean, the security details are important, but I think I would leave them to do their job and hope that they leave me to do my job and not have to worry, if it was me, not have to worry about who is in the crowd or what might happen if I were speaking to a crowd of people. Not that anyone would want to come and listen to me talk to a crowd of people, but you know what I mean. That
I know what you mean.
That you can't worry about what's going on. Well, that's a bad way to say it. You can't really worry about what's going on around you. You just have to do what you need to do and get that done. And unfortunately, bad things happen.
That's right.
Sometimes. But, from what I read, from what I've seen, his security team did what they were supposed to do. They got him thrown into a vehicle and they moved him away. And that's the best thing that they could have done if he was in the condition that he was in. And I believe.
Hey, gentlemen, I got to run. I got to get ready to
Ray.
go to work. Got a half hour to be there. I just wanted to jump back on.
All right,
guys,
Ray.
no, I didn't abandon you. I just had some technical issues.
I
think it's power runs out of the phone or something.
Okay, I will probably be in your audience
I'll be able
sometime.
to be in my apparatus soon.
I'll be in your audience tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing your broadcast.
All right.
I'll
be live at 7.
Great. Thank you.
All right, Brother Randy.
See ya.
All right. Let me get. All right. So now, see that. Some things are automatic and some things aren't. I'm getting used to it again. And we're here. Randy and Jen are on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. in their ongoing book series of interviews. And I'll let Randy tell you about it. I want you to watch that if you feel that you need to. Otherwise, I don't know if there'll be a Boogie with the Bull tomorrow night, because there are a lot of people doing a lot of different things. And my policy usually is to, quote unquote, be out of their way and let as many people as possible see what they're doing. So that was what the morning shows were created for. I can be on my soapbox, if you want to say that, and tell you where to go and watch. I do want you to watch the Jim Price Daily Show Update, or the Jim Price Show Daily Update. I don't know what it's called, but you go to Jim Price, you look up Jim Price Show, and there's a picture of him a little heavier and a little more bearded. that's the one you want. And his broadcast is there. It runs in the East 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. or it runs, if you're around Kansas, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's the same time. Make sure you watch that. Jim knew Charlie Kirk very well. They spent a lot of time together, did a lot of work together, and he'll have thoughts that you want to hear. Plus, I like him. You know,
I like it. I like his beard.
I get to be crazy in the live chat and say things that I would say only if I was live, and they're in there on someone else's program. I like his beard. Well, I don't. I don't want to insult anybody. The chin scruff looks a little bit. I wouldn't do it, but if someone else wanted to do it, then maybe it's fine on them. But I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it myself. And half the time, at this point, I don't even want to do what I do on my Facebook. Go ahead, Randy.
Well, yeah, we're getting close to my end here.
Okay.
I do want to show a little bit of Erica Clark's talk the other day. It's 16 minutes long. I'm not going to play all of it, but I want to show you. This woman's a very strong woman. I can see her taking the place of Charlie to a certain degree. I'm not sure about going out to the college universities, but certainly being a strong voice in the back as far as organizing and putting people in their places to build up and continue his work. But as far as going out there like he did, I don't think so. She has two little. She just has a newborn, for God's sake, a newborn son. I can see her being the voice behind whoever's going to take the mantle. I'm sure she's going to. If someone is going to take the mantle, I'm sure she's going to make the best decisions possible for that. But here, let her say it in her own words.
If you are sleeping in a position like this, you are wrecking your body and your breathing. Chronic neck pain happens when your cervical.
Joining me now is the author of a groundbreaking work.
It paused too long. Hold on.
We paused too long. There we go.
Jesus.
Good evening. My name is Erica Kirk. Charlie Kirk is my husband. I first want to thank the local, state, and federal law enforcement who worked tirelessly to capture my husband's assassin so that he can be brought to justice. I want to thank the first responders who struggled heroically to save Charles's life, and the police who acted bravely to make sure that there were no other victims on that terrible afternoon. I want to thank the officers who have protected our Turning Point USA family these past 2 days. And I want to thank the Turning Point USA board, the COO, Justin Strife, and my husband's chief of staff, the amazing Mikey McCoy, for all their work in these terrible days to be the stability for our family and for the wider Turning Point USA family as well. My heart is with every one of my husband's employees who lost a friend and a mentor. I want to thank the staffers of his amazing Charlie Kirk show who helped him broadcast from this studio, this chair. Every day he loved it. He loved what he did. I want to thank the millions of people who have shown their love for Charlie here in Phoenix, across America, and worldwide. I want to thank my husband's dear friend, Vice President Vance, and his phenomenal wife, Usha, for their love and support. You guys honored my husband so well bringing him home. You both are tremendous. I want to thank President Trump and his incredible family for the same. Mr. President, my husband loved you. And he knew that you loved him too. He did. Your friendship was amazing. You supported him so well, as did he for you. 2 days ago, my husband, Charlie, went to see the face of his Savior and his God. Charlie always said that when he was gone, he wanted to be remembered for his courage and for his faith. And one of the final conversations that he had on this earth, my husband witnessed for his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
So let's stop it there. It is like says like a 15-minute conversation, but you have to give her. You have to really put your arms around her and give her all the strength that she needs. I mean, she's a strong woman, but no one is capable of going through something like this on their own. They have to have other people around them too, especially with the little ones. You know,
and she's a businesswoman too. She owns her own business. I know they make T-shirts as well. T-shirts as well as other things. And with the T-shirts for everyone they sell, they give one away to the homeless. But so she's got a lot of things on her plate. She will be there, and she will push Turning Point forward, and it will go forward. I don't think anyone can fill that black chair, as I said before.
I see that going into let's see if I'm wrong. See if I'm right. I see his studio, probably inside of his house, being wrapped up, being protected and not being reused by anybody else.
No, I don't see the Elvis moment there. I think the studio will be used. The show will go on forever. It may get a new name. It may get a new host. That's going to go on forever. No one sitting in that chair can be Charlie Kirk. And that's not what is needed. Someone can take it in their own direction with what they have learned and what they want the rest of the world to learn, and it will continue at the turning point that it's at, but it will not, it's not going to be the Charlie Kirk show. I mean, they may still call it the Charlie Kirk show, and the people that did it with him who continue to do it with themselves, I hope, and keep getting it along. I don't want people to focus on the violence, because I don't think this is about worrying about people doing things at the studio that they did. I just think we are messed up. We're at a turning point, and I think Charlie would say we're at a point where people need to break bread, as I would say and have said, and they need to agree to what they agreed with, and then they need to focus on what they don't agree on and work on that. Because, as I have said, you're not a Republican, you're not a Democrat, you're an American. Well, I mean, maybe you are a Republican or a Democrat, but you're an American. And you need to do things for America. And if you can't do that, then you're locked in whatever you were locked in. And I can't help you. I don't think Randy can help you. I don't think anybody can help you.
I think what this country needs, and possibly the world, is for, I wouldn't say necessarily stronger sanctions, but I think the social media owners of like an X or TikTok or Twitter or whatever, okay, they need to start focusing more on people who have violent posts as opposed to those who are, let's say, going against the Republicans, the conservatives, or the Democrats and liberals. Focus on the violent context and blocking them and taking them off the, because you can still see on X nasty. I was watching the person I'm going to talk to here momentarily, I got to jump off. He sent me a video of them talking about the event that he's at. And the guy doing the video, and as he's walking around and talking about what's going on, some asshole starts making shit remarks about Charlie Kirk, about how he's glad that he's gone and how he's murdered and he's happy for it.
But then again, you go up to the guy and you just say,
"Well,
now is not the moment."
This was in the comments, so there's no way of confronting the guy. But I was surprised that either the guy doing the video couldn't see the comment section of his while he was live, but this guy's making nasty comments about Charlie Kirk, and he wasn't there for that. He was there for the reenactments of a Civil War battle.
Mm-hmm. So the Civil War group needed to boot him, or just say to him politely, "Hey, it's Monday. We're here as a vigil. If you want to come Tuesday, we'll give you that opportunity to speak for yourself." And that's sort of what I've always said about Boogie with the Bull. We may come on with a particular program and a viewpoint that is mine, yours, and anybody else who is hosting. You're welcome to come on and disagree. Just treat everybody with the respect that you expect. Barry Nolan is the only Democrat in the 4, 5, 6 year history. I don't know, because everybody just disagrees. So I just say 4 years. He's the only one in the 4-year history that ever got removed from the broadcast. And the only reason he did was he came on, and when there were others that joined the broadcast, he just started yelling. And then he started yelling over them. And finally, one of the other co-hosts at the time said, "We got to get rid of it." And we did, because we couldn't do what we were doing. It was just, So if everybody can treat everybody with respect, you're more than welcome to be here. I mean, we've got 2,700 cameras. No, we have 8 cameras, 10 cameras. So we have 8 cameras that are still not being used. I don't know if the Chromebook that I'm using can support all 8 of them, but we've got 8 more cameras, and people are more than welcome to be here. This is a bad time, as I always say. 10 o'clock is a bad time, because most of the time people are at work and they can't watch the broadcast. And that's why we do the Tuesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. But
yeah, so I gotta bring this to an end. But first off, I want to reiterate one thing, is that your mom's. Just 1 second. Freedom of speech is a protective right of American people. Okay. And we are able to sit here in our respective studios and talk whatever we want to talk about. And unless Facebook finds something wrong because we said something bad, we can say what we want to say without getting blocked or muted. But for people to say on their home devices anything nasty about Charlie Kirk, they should be allowed that right. Now, if you're at home on a business computer or your own computer working on your 8 o'clock work from home time for your company, or if you're at work using a company computer, that is different. You're on their respective company's time and Brandon. So if
Right.
someone sees you making a comment about Charlie Kirk, and in the corner or whatever, there's a little IGO that says this is Randall Rhodes' genealogy, people will think that Randy Rhodes' genealogy agrees with your comments, and that's why you got fired. Okay, because I don't.
Well,
so in that respect, your First
if
Amendment has to be restricted if you're on a company-oriented social media site.
well, it's actually, I think, deeper than that. And I know that you have to go. But we own the internet. Meta does not own the internet. YouTube, Google does not own the internet. We do. And where I am, and I'll say this right now, is that they do not have a right to tell me what can and can't be on the internet. They have a right to tell me what can and can't be on Google, YouTube, what can't be on Facebook, because there are other people that say, hey, unless you get crazy, you can be on the internet. We're live on StreetLock right now. I hope everybody sees the link there for streetlock.com and takes a minute to click it, because pretty much what you want to post in the news feed goes on the news feed, goes on your page too, goes in your group too. However you want to say it is how it goes. That's the way it should be. It shouldn't be this girl crying because she did a video saying that you set us up for political violence and you didn't give us a chance to be politically violent. Because I would come back and go, no, I didn't set you up for anything. I spoke how I wanted to speak. And if you want to be politically violent because of what I said, then go be politically violent if that's what you want. But other people are going to stop you. But anyway, Randy, it's always a pleasure.
Well, hey, hold
no,
on.
I'm not going to bounce you. I was going to say all roads lead to home genealogy. It may not be the biggest. I think it's the best. He's done work for me where he's found lots of interesting relatives that I couldn't find on my own. I think it was $250. And
that price is it's down to $100 now.
Okay, so now it's $100. I don't know how the breakup goes on it, but now it's down to $100.
Yeah.
You can't find anybody on the internet who will do what Randy does for the $100, because Randy will pop in 10 o'clock at night. It could be Randy will pop in and go, I just found this, or how is this person related to that person? Do you remember this person? And I have to think for a minute and go, yeah. And before you know it, he has told you what he wants you to know, or what he can find, not what he wants you to know, what he has found.
A genealogist will charge, and some people pay $3,000 for a flat fee. Okay, and I'll take some time to explain some things to you. A couple years ago, I was doing broadcasts for my genealogy, and a lady by the name of Reagan, last name was Reagan, reached out to me and she said, Randy, I just saw your broadcast. I really enjoyed it. She said that, I just paid a genealogist $3,000 to answer 3 questions. And this is what I got: a 16-page report, and my questions were not answered. I said, could you send me the report? And she said, sure. So she sent me 16 pages, okay? And what the genealogist did not, first off, the genealogist did not answer any of the questions, okay? What she got was, and I'm going to paraphrase again, something like this: Randall Rhodes came to Maryland maybe in the year blah, 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 blah. Randall Rhodes could have been married to Claudette Marie Moore, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Nothing was specific. Nothing was defined.
Right.
She got nothing for her $3,000.
Right.
And at that time, I was charging $250 for an entire month of my work for 2 hours per day working on you.
Yep.
And within 1 week, she hired me. And within 1 week, I answered her 3 questions. And then she stayed with me for almost 3 years until she had a very tragic family experience. And she had to go, and I understood that.
Yep.
I dropped my price down to $100 because there's some folks who just, everyone who came to me from a point of they weren't rich, okay?
Right.
But they wanted to find out about their family. So I realized that price of $250 was too much, so I started asking for $100, okay? And the reason why I'm so cheap is because I am on disability. I do get a monthly check, and the money I earn doing this simply keeps the lights on and a little bit left over for Randy. And folks sign up, and for full. And I've had people stay with me almost 4 years now. All my clients come from the South. I don't know why that is. It's not like I broadcast specifically to the South and only ask for Southerners, but they want to know about their family. And I find so much. I use over 12 different services. I use books. I use magazines. I use all kinds of material to make sure that what I am giving to the client who turns into my friend, accurate information. In fact, I'm going to leave with this. One of my newest friends, Matthew Holmes, saw my broadcast I did about slavery. Okay. One of my clients, Morris Myers, he descends from a slave. And I did a broadcast specifically around him. Matthew Holmes saw the broadcast and said, Randy, I am a historian. I'm an author of 8 books. Would you read my books and then do a broadcast about them? And I said, I would be honored to. Yep. So he sent me 3 books that I already did. This one here is Hell in the Cell. I won't go into much detail, but I read this in 5 days. It is phenomenal. It's all about his relatives, his close bloodline relatives. You got to get it. Hell in the Cell. It's about the experience of his relatives in the war and while they're prisoners. This one here is called Blood in the Mountains. Again, about his relatives. I read this in 4 days. Very, very good book. The one that's tomorrow that Matthew Holmes and Jen, the homeschool mom, is joining me with is to do a review of this book, Spirit of Vengeance. This is a book about his 4th grade uncle who was murdered by a Union soldier. And I use the word murder because this guy wasn't even a soldier. He was a blind man, and he was on the porch of his farm. The Union soldier came up to him to take his land, which during that time frame was allowed. The federal government was seizing the properties of Confederate men. But this guy wasn't even a soldier. When he refused to give over his land, the Union soldiers shot him in the head twice.
Yep.
So this book is about him. It's about what happened after the fact. I want to tell you, tomorrow I'm going to be sharing video and photos of where he just was. Matthew was at the reenactments of the Saltville battle. It was a very big battle in the Southern history. He sold, get this, within the 2 days he was there, he sold over 50 of his books.
Awesome. So
tomorrow
night, 7 p.m.
Eastern time.
Adjust yourself accordingly. I'm assuming on the All Roads Lead to Home Genealogy group.
Correct.
Which is a private group, so you have to make sure that you are a member of the group in order to watch, or hope that you can watch on one of the shares that go around. But I'm not sure why it goes to that one first, because when I do my setup, I choose my home my geography. I choose my personal page. I choose YouTube and some others. So tomorrow I'll be on
My homepage was my Randall Rhodes. I'll be on the genealogy page, which is all roads Liam genealogy. I'll be on YouTube, and I'll be, I believe it's also on
the way it works with Facebook is that you picked at one time where you wanted to be first, like I did the Boogie with the Bull. I mean the Dave Golden profile, and then you share around to everywhere else. But I thank you for coming. We will be back on Wednesday because you can't do Tuesday, and I haven't decided what I will do Tuesday. So every broadcast watched Michael Anthony Page because he's working on a lot of stuff. He's not doing broadcasts at this time, so watch what he does. Go to the All Roads, go to the American Rebellion blogger page and watch the program and listen, because it's a bunch of people that are friends, okay? And they just talk. And sometimes they talk about important stuff, and sometimes they just talk, just like we do. Sometimes we talk, and sometimes we talk about important stuff.
So I gotta get going.
Okay.
Talk to you on Wednesday.
All right, Randy, thank you. And Randy is no longer on the screen. I'm working right now on Philip Marshall, Ray Fagans, which you know as William Rayfield, and Randy Rhodes is the co-host, and myself, and anybody else who wants to join us. We were live on my profile on Facebook, the Boogie with the Bull channel on YouTube, and we were live on Streetlock because I had posted on Streetlock that we would do our best to be live, and we were. You're welcome to join the live chat either on my profile or over on the YouTube channel, and then become a part of the broadcast. You're welcome to share it wherever you want to share it, however you want to share it. I know some people can only share things through Facebook. That's fine. Some people can share through YouTube. They can take a link from YouTube and share it wherever they want to share it. That's how I like you to share it. Why? As I've said before, because Meta makes money if you share a thing with a Facebook link on non-Facebook, then they make money every time you share it. And I don't think they need to make money. You have to have 50,000 people watching your broadcast for 180,000 hours, which is something I will never do in my entire lifetime. Maybe I will, but I don't think I will. Anyway, we're live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Adjust yourself accordingly. And Tuesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Adjust yourself accordingly, because that is Eastern